face with the heat and air conditioning, right? Some people are saying that my audio is scratchy. Some people saying better. Some people saying back up from the mic. And also some people saying not loud enough. So the trick is, how do we work with stakeholders in an environment for e-learning for educators that really teaches them the tools and processes for technology to move forward? Second Life is not just a tool, it's a part of the learning ecosystem of what we're going to be doing in blended learning for the 22nd century. So when folks talk about where we're headed, 21st century skills is now the argument that was, and what we are talking about is 22nd century ecosystems. So the title of presentation today, I'm going to walk kind of on the platform and kind of get to where I can interact a little bit and also make sure that everyone is hearing me and able to respond, is Evolutions, Second Life for NCBPS. And when we were preparing today's presentation, I was told that I had 10 minutes. I've probably taken 2, so I will make sure that I move rapidly along, but in my opening remarks, give you some value for your Second Life exploration. One of the questions I was asked was about this opening slide. Are you sure you want the bikini-clad woman on the opening slide? Absolutely, because many people's perceptions of Second Life is that it's dangerous, that it's unsecure, and as my friend David Warlick often says, it's the big creepy treehouse. So how do we explain it in such a way that it's going to add value for e-learning educators across the Southeast? How do we make it useful for students, and how do we not give tech directors heart attacks in the process? I included some images from the Obama campaign, also our initial explorations in Second Life on the first slide, to tell you that you've got to have a process to harness it. And as we go to the second slide, that process for us began on June 8th of 2008. I was on vacation in Chicago for my birthday, and I was reading many events in Second Life on the beautiful USDLC island, and I had guested with her before. So I talked with her about a concept whereby we would start helping educators learn this process. And we would have opportunities like today to have keynotes, to have interactive activities, and also have different ways to learn at any time. We also worked with Bill Lovin, who's featured on this slide, who was a photographer for sort of the Discovery Channel, Jacques Cousteau, the movie industry, several different groups. And we talked about the visual aesthetics needed to make it engaging for kids. And finally, I reached out to my staff, which was Jill Kipps today, aka Jennifer Nobles in real life, who began an exploration of how we might do some events with North Carolina. We moved that process to a first event to really make an impact in our state with educators. I reached out to Adam Zapatero, who's in the room today, and said, you know what? We ought to try this in front of 950 school administrators. And if we fail, we fail, but what we want to do is give them not only a glimpse of what's coming, but how we can organize around different mediums at this conference. We had folks from the National Education and Computing Conference in that week, and we also had backup plans in case the whole thing crashed. Because in this world, folks, it's much like the classroom. You have to differentiate approaches so that your audio works, that you have back channels for feedback, and so you have multiple opportunities to convene groups like today from across agencies and across the nation. That's really the value add of this environment in this world. So what happened at that first conference? Well, we did quite well and were able to bring people into a room to chat. And people had questions like, okay, how is this different than face-to-face? You're basically meeting in a lecture hall like this beautiful amphitheater today, and what are you doing that's different? Well, we started looking around, and the slide that you're seeing today is early innovator Quan. This is when I had hair, and before all the stress of working and creating in environments like this took its toll on my avatar and me. But in all seriousness,